Today, we are talking about fear, a birthing place, as a womb, as a portal, rather than as a dead end. Fear as an invitation. And here we are talking about creative fear, the fear of being seen, the fear of being judged, the fear of being cringe and seen as such, the fear of being understood, the fear of starting, the fear of failing. We are talking about how we haven't been invited to see how much aliveness in this emotion, how much possibility, how much life seeks to emerge through the womb of this fear. That fear is a birthing place. Fear can be an invitational space that is full and rich and pregnant with possibility. Hello, Divine Soul. First, I want to send so much love and reverence to you from my heart to yours. I want to send love to you. I want to send light to you. I want to send a loving reminder that everything that you are calling in at this moment, it is on its way to you. And I invite you to take a moment to be present to something that you dreamed of that has already dropped into your life, that now has slipped into that place of ungratitude, that place of lack of recognition because it's become normalized in your consciousness. This is what we do as humans. We strive and we long and we crave and we yearn. And then when we are in the mode of receiving, sometimes it is challenging to stay present to that receiving, to let it be enough that we finally received maybe the dream opportunity we were calling in, the dream friendship we were calling in, the dream forgiveness. Maybe we reached a place where we can hear someone's name and no longer feel like crying or screaming or raging. There can be a place of peace that we reached, that we prayed for, that we called in. And then as soon as that arrives, like this, what is that treadmill, the hedonistic treadmill, the arrival fantasy, that the goalpost keeps shifting. So, what is a moment, or what is something you can take a moment to feel grateful for at this time, right here, right now? Hmm. Staying there as long as you need to. We all carry deep fears. And in a sense, they carry us because they were planted within us by social conditioning, by society, and by our survival instinct, by our fundamental goal as a species, as a being, as life itself, to stay alive, to be a guardian of life. But here's the thing, there are many different kinds of aliveness. There is a physical aliveness. There is a physical sense of protecting life, staying alive. But then there's also creative aliveness when you feel so fulfilled, you feel so stimulated. There is emotional aliveness where you let life just completely overtake you, be with you, be through you. When you feel the grief, you cry, you're alive to the feelings. And that is the form of aliveness that is often robbed from us at a societal level. We are taught to numb and avoid and repress. What happens when people cry? They apologize. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for being emotional. And being sensitive is a deep spiritual and emotional gift that is othered, that is repressed, that is demonized, as so much of the feminine is. Where we live in a Western, a colonial, and a toxic masculine imagination. So anything with respect to the feminine is reduced, belittled, the deep intelligence of it is undermined. And so we are taught to live as not fully emotionally alive. So, what fear is here to do is it's here as a guardian of all these different forms of aliveness. So, yes, fear guards our physical aliveness, but fear also is a guardian of our emotional and our creative aliveness. What do I mean by this? Before you have a difficult conversation, you feel afraid. Before you tell someone you love them for the first time, you feel afraid. Before you tell someone you don't love them anymore, I've never said this to anyone, not that that would be a bad thing, I just want to tell you, you feel afraid. Before you say something you know you need to say, you feel afraid. So in that moment, fear is a guardian of a deeper aliveness in that relationship, in that moment. And it is inviting you into a deeper integrity. It is saying, I want you to be fully alive to this feeling of betrayal. I want you to be fully alive to this feeling of love. So here's a bit of fear. Now, take this fear and go forth and confess and say what you need to say creatively. I want to share with you an exercise that I did because many of the people that I connect to and through, we fear being seen. That is one of our deepest fears. And we can tell it's one of our also greatest, most magnetic opportunities. That if we allowed ourselves to be fully visible, and there's like a goddess frequency in that, no matter your gender, there is a very, what's the word? There's a sensuality to saying, look at me. Listen to me. I've got songs to sing. Listen to me. I've got words to say. See me. I want to be seen. And this is the irony. People who fear being seen are often struggling to connect and truly fully reclaim their desire to be seen. The fact that actually you love attention. There's a part of you, and you can connect to this through your inner child. There is a part of you, my love, who loves being seen. And you're not taught to claim that. Why? Because it's seen as egotistical. It's seen as unacceptable, especially for women to claim the love of attention. You are judged. Oh my word, she just loves attention. She likes attention too much. She takes up too much space. She's too much. And this can happen to many different genders. They take up too much space. They're too much. They're too expressive. They're too emotional. They're too sensitive. It's always this excess, okay? But actually, because our society has normalized a level of emotional scarcity, of emotional repression, so that being in your full humanity seems like too much to some people, but you are not here for those people. Okay, so once you realize, yes, you fear being seen, that is true. But isn't that easier to say than also admit, confess, allow that there is a part of you who absolutely loves being seen, who loves the spotlight, who loves the energy of, look at me, see me, feel me, that you don't just want to be seen, you want to be felt. You love being resonated with. It turns you on to think of people singing your lyrics back to you, people referring to your ideas. Oh, that thing you said, it stuck with me for years. It changed my life. There's an eros there. And I invite you to claim that. You don't have to only identify with your fear of being seen. Again, fear is this birthing place. It is this womb. It is this portal. Oh, I'm looking at the comments. This is my first live. Oh, wonderful. I'm so glad that you needed this today. I'm so sending you so much love, so much so much possibility. Also, so much rest. You know that you are worthy, infinitely worthy of resting. You don't have to earn rest. If anyone needed to hear that, I felt called to share it. So, you deserve to love being seen. What if there's a world where like you fear being seen the same way a pop star fears going on stage? Like there's nowhere else they'd rather be, but they're also afraid. And I think also in this paradigm of the specifically with respect to big technologies and convenience culture, we have developed a limiting belief that comfort is good and discomfort is bad. Now, obviously, there are forms of discomfort that are inhumane and should not even exist, forms of discomfort that deny people's sacredness, sanctity, dignity. But then there are forms of discomfort that are part of a meaningful life, and you will not live a meaningful life without facing those forms of discomfort. That is where creative fear steps in. If you refuse, for example, to be embarrassing, to be cringe, to be judgeable, even to put yourself in a position where you could be judged, you are saying to the universe, give me a life that is too small for me. You know, when the waiter or waitress or wait person comes and they say, what do you want, Matt? What do you want? What do you want today? What are you going to have? Is it going to be, the noodles or the rice? What are you going to be eating today? And you say, I'll have a life that's too small for me. The universe waiter comes, the universe server comes and says, what kind of, what's on the menu today? What will you have? And you say, you know what? I don't want to be afraid in my life. I don't want to face the fear of judgment. I don't want to face the fear of failing. Oh my word. And the fact that I could fail in front of others. I don't want that. So you know what? You know what the universe hears? I want a life that I will live to regret. And I'm saying this with so much love because I know that we all want more than that. And I'm also speaking to myself. I haven't transcended the avoidance of fear, the avoidance of discomfort. I still do that. But every time we say there are two paths in front of me, the one involves fear, discomfort. Oh, what if they judge me? What if they don't love me? What if I fail? What if I'm judged? The other path, it's exactly the same. It's watching YouTube videos of people embodying what you wish you were stepping into, or it's just going on life as usual, scrolling on TikTok. Okay, you can walk that path. It's the path of least resistance in the short term and greatest resistance in the long term. So the way to be on the side of your future self, I think of it as my deathbed self, to be on her side. This, I'm going to die, to be on the side of the me who's going to die. I don't know if that's today, in 10 years, in 20 years, in 30 years. I say, okay, I choose this discomfort because I love you. Because I love you. And I want you to have this memory. Because I love you, I want you to have the memory of us having embodied what we said we longed to embody. Yes, yes, I'm afraid. For example, I have always had a vision for very many years now. It was 3 years of being I didn't know the career existed before that, but of being a podcast interviewer. Now, I know that that is part of my purpose and calling, but that doesn't mean there was the absence of fear. In fact, it means the very opposite. Why? Because fear is a birthing place. Fear is a womb for my deepest becoming. So before my interviews recently, I've done two in the past sort of month. I was nervous. Oh, I was afraid. And then you think, oh, then you did the interview and it went so well and then you weren't afraid anymore. No, because I have to rewatch it. The humiliation. Okay, it's not humiliation, but like there's something deeply uncomfortable and let us say it, unnatural about watching yourself second by second, judging yourself, you know, criticizing yourself. And I sat with this feeling of all the things I wish I had said, all the ways that I wish I had added to the conversation or wish I had created space for the guest. And I was so critical of myself. I was like, should have done this and you should have done that. But this is the path. So I'm afraid, right? That's a form of fear. I'm afraid of not being good enough. I'm afraid of people seeing myself as not good enough, as not a good enough interviewer, not a good enough conversationalist, not a good enough space holder, not a good enough thinker. Because you're seeing someone's thinking and how they think on display or an aspect of it. And I was afraid. I'm still afraid. I'm afraid of not being good enough. And yet I know, okay, there are these two paths. The one, you don't post the video. The one, you don't post the video. Don't post it. Fine. You're afraid. Don't post it. Life continues as normal. You keep telling yourself, oh, the next interview will be the one, or the next one will be the one. Okay. And then there's another path that says, yes, I'm afraid of being judged. Yes, I'm afraid of being seen. Yes, I'm afraid of being criticized. Yes, I'm afraid of being canceled. Yes, I'm afraid of being seen as not good enough. Yes, I'm afraid of people identifying me as this or that or this other thing. But this path is leading me in the direction of my calling, in the direction of my purpose, and in the direction of a deeper, less conditional form of love. Because when we're on this path, it's often we're stuck in conditional love. We don't see another possibility. What if I choose an unconditional love that says, every creation, this is something that I say, every creation is love's invitation. If you fear being seen as not good enough, you are being invited to love yourself. And that fear of being seen is just a signal from the universe that there was already a wound beneath that is seeking to be met. I'm not even going to say healed, because aren't we all always healing for the rest of our lives? It is seeking to be met. And the reason I love the path for me of visibility is I am meeting myself, and I'm meeting this inner critic and this perfectionist and this part of me who feels she has to be perfect. And I'm meeting her again and again and again. And I don't transcend this fear. I don't suddenly not fear speaking or not fear interviewing, but I meet her and I say, my love, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. And I know you're trying to protect me. This is parts work from internal family systems, which is a healing modality where we all have different parts within us. And they truly just want to be heard, to have space held for them, and to protect you. And they're using a protection mechanism they learned in childhood. So if it wasn't safe for you to be yourself, part of you taught you, don't say that. Don't take up so much space. Oh, you're so annoying. No one likes you. Everyone's judging you. Everyone's talking about you. And they thought that was the only way that they could show up for you, because they were trying to protect you in that environment. And then now you're no longer 12, 15, 17, 19, 20, 21, whatever, but they haven't been released, like not as in let go of, but they haven't been released of this role. So they keep doing that. They keep showing up in that way. So it's an invitation to have a conversation with this part of you who believes you're inherently shameful. You're just inherently, they think you're inherently never good enough. And you sit with them and you say, my love, what's happening? What's coming up for you? So I did this with my interview, and it was like, I feel like we're just not good enough. We had this perfect image in our head of how this would go, and that's not what it was. It was beautiful, but it was also messy, and I made mistakes. And there were things I said that I don't agree with, and there were things I said that weren't inclusive enough of people I truly, deeply want to include. And I feel this need to be perfect, and I learned it so young. And I said to this part of myself, my babes, my love, my angel, it is safe. It is safe. Let me be your sanctuary. It is safe to make mistakes. It is safe to be seen making mistakes. It is safe to not be perfect. No one is. It is safe to reveal your humanity, because every form of visibility that you step into, as you share your light, as you share your love, your heart, as you share your gifts, each form of visibility is like a different arena or stage. It will invite you to sit with different forms of fears. So there's the fear of being seen when you're sitting in your house and you're recording it yourself, right? That's one fear of being seen. That's one experience. But when it's not live, you can edit it. You cannot post it. You can save it to drafts. You have so much control, quote unquote. So I've been doing that for 3 years, just like creating videos on my own, being the full decider. I get to decide what stays, what goes. I get to decide what's posted, what's not. Now suddenly I'm in a live conversation. Now suddenly someone else's dream is involved. I can't just say, oh, I'm not going to post this. Well, I can. But it's like, it's not only about me. Now suddenly I don't get to just, oh, whoops, wish I wouldn't say that, take it out. It's not as easy, because it breaks the dynamics of the conversation. You can do that. And I am still sort of allowing myself to do what I feel needs to be done to have that, spaciousness to make mistakes and to flow. But it's a different form of fear, because it's a live fear. And then I'm sure one day I'll be doing, next year, I hope to do more in-person events. So we're all going to face, it's not about me, we're all going to face different forms of fear. But that fear is a birthing place for you. If you dream of being a singer on a stage, of course there's going to be some uncomfortable performances in pubs or in bars that make you cringe, or sharing a TikTok that makes you cringe. But that is the womb. It's like wanting to have the baby but not wanting to be pregnant. That's not how it works. So accept and lean into the discomfort of the pregnancy. Lean into the discomfort of the birthing place that fear is, that doubt is, that discomfort is. This is the law of polarity. We don't get to have the dream without the fear. We don't get to have the day without the night, the light without the darkness. And in fact, we wouldn't want it. Imagine all there was darkness, or all there was light. If all there was light, we would never find rest. We would age and therefore die much faster because we would never have reprieve from the sun. The sun is divine, but also the sun is literally burning us alive. All the plants of the universe would live, would not have that 12-hour rest from sunlight to replenish, to rejuvenate. Animals would not be able to rest. So eventually there would be no life if there was only light. Similarly, if there was only darkness, we wouldn't have the sunlight and we would again not have life. So with our dreams, I know what we only want is the magic and the beauty and the connection and the opportunities and the community. But if all we had was that, there would be no contrasting experience for it to even feel like the dream. Or if actually, let me think about this more. But basically, I know that we need one to have the other. Maybe we wouldn't become the version of ourselves who could even hold the dream. Oh my word, we wouldn't. So when we manifested the dream, which you are, we manifested you. We also manifested what it asks of us, what it asks to grow within us and through us. You are on such an incredible path. And I also want to say this, even though fear is this invitational space, it's this birthing place for a deeper becoming. You know, if you want to write a book, but you're afraid of how long it will take, imagine the version of yourself you will become through leaning into that fear. You'll become a version of you who doesn't fear long projects and hard, like what quote unquote hard work. And imagine what that will unlock for you moving forward. And maybe you needed to face that fear so that you could write a whole trilogy, that would be turned into a movie. But I also want to say, even though fear is this invitational space of becoming, you are more than enough just as you are today. Yes, you are calling things in, but you were also called in. Yes, you are manifesting, but you were also manifested. You are more than enough. You know more than enough. You've seen more than enough. You deserve rest. You deserve to not only identify yourself with what you create and do in this world, but also your essence and energy. And whether or not, we don't know how long any of us has. And I resent the idea that, if we die before our dreams come true, that we're somehow less of a human life, that we're less sacred, that was, oh, what a waste, what a shame, what a pity. I don't know how I feel about that. We are all divine. We are all in our essence. There's nothing we have to prove. A lot of what like masculine energy is about proving. I have to prove myself as worthy. And this is also a way that, you know this framing is also a form of the way that people get oppressed by this energy, because no one should have to prove anything. And we often find, now we all have access to both energies, we often find that there's a crushing weight when you treat people like they have something to prove. And that is something that we need to be mindful of. You have nothing to prove. Yes, you could dream, and sometimes we like have these revenge fantasies of people who didn't believe in us. You have nothing to prove. You have nothing to prove. What would it mean for you to really feel your way into that? You don't have to be, there's nothing. You have nothing to prove. But, and let's say you have all the permission to move where you feel called to move, to flow where you feel called to flow, to go where you feel called to go. But you don't have to prove anything by that going. You don't have to get to a certain number of followers or lie. Oh my word, it's a trap. That's a trap. That's the devil. That's a trap. Please. I mean, we all have our part to walk. We all have to learn what we have to learn. But I've learned that's a trap. I rather not know. I rather not know who, how, because if you attach a number to someone's worth, there's a name for that. You know what I mean? And there's a history. And as a Black person, am I going to allow these like white male Western imagined platforms to tell me my worth through a number? Yes, I am. I'm trying not to. Oh, my word. Oh, my word. Oh, thank you so much for allowing us to see you. That is such a wonderful, thank you, a wonderful and beautiful way to say it. Oh, my word. Also, I'm now looking at how my camera is. I do this thing where I try not to even look at myself. Oh, wait, what's happening? Is all well? Okay, I'm here. Thank you so much for anyone who was with me on this journey. I will be going live more. Why? Because of what I named, because of a different fear of being seen, and also an exciting invitational space of wanting to do more in person events, wanting to do more live experiences, wanting to interview people more in ways that I cannot simply just edit out. Like if we're in a room together, babes, manifesting that, I can't just be like, whoops, let's take that scene out. There's an aliveness to this. And so I'm going to be going live more often so that I can face my fear of this kind of imperfection or this kind of, actually, I'm not trying to minimize myself. Like I really want to honor myself. I want to honor how I've grown, and I want to connect. I want to just always be embodying what I'm teaching, which is like I'm facing my fear of being seen. For example, I have a weird relationship with TikTok, but I've been posting on TikTok and I'm like, it's embarrassing because no one's looking at these videos. Like, oh my word. But like, exactly, that's amazing. It's a birthing place. Also, as they say, which I love, I learned this from the spiritual teacher, Michael B. Beckwith, who I love. I love him. He's amazing. Please watch his talks. Oh my goodness. Oh, what a, whoo. Like that's someone I'd love to interview. Mm, mm, mm. Wow, what a divine soul. What a divine soul, which you are. Okay, I'm sending so much love to you. I'm sending healing your way. I'm sending the frequency that you're calling in most your way. And I'm also sending just permission in the form that you're seeking. What is something you need to give yourself or you feel called to give yourself permission for? I give myself permission to show up imperfectly. I give myself permission to try new things. You're an innovator. You're an alchemist. I give myself permission to claim an identity that I've struggled to claim. Maybe you've struggled to call yourself an artist or a visionary or a writer. Oh my word, what is it about that? Like you could be journaling every single day and be like, I'm not a writer. Like, babes, that's me, by the way. I'm like, ah, I write, but like I'm not the thing that is the doing of that exact title. It's so funny. I'm sending so much love. Fear has been acting as a wall between me and creation lately. Oh, we're sending so much love to you. Thank you for naming that so beautifully because we are all going through that with you. And you've given language to it so wonderfully. Your creation and communication is, I'm so grateful to hear that. Thank you, Bailey. And I know that feeling, babes. I know that feeling. Oh, when you're so afraid, for me, it manifests in so many different ways. It could be avoiding the work, it could be saving it to drafts, it could, oh goodness, drafts. I'll come back. This is for me with writing, huge fears around not being good enough. And so you are not alone. Those walls, but can we see them as platform 9 3/4? Like, can we see them dissolving? Can we see them as portals? With very much love to the world of Harry Potter, with not love to the transphobia and to J.K. Rowling herself, but to that world, that there is an invitational space for the rigidity of that wall to actually, as we place our hand on it, meaning as we are intimate with it, as we connect with it, as we seek to reach for it, connect, can we actually notice that our hand starts to pass through it? That could mean journaling about the fear. That could mean writing to the fear. Dear fear, I know you're here to hold me through this. You're here to make this experience of my life memorable. Because so much of our lives we forget. I notice the things that are most memorable to me, often creatively, I was most afraid. The things that I'm proudest of myself for doing, I was most afraid. So fear wants to give to you. It's just not always understood as a giving. So this wall that you're facing, You look at the wall and you say, I see you with reverence, because you know what walls do? Walls create rooms. And I've been in this room and I see that this room has held me, but I'm now ready for a different holding. This room has met me, but I'm now ready for a different meeting. And as you're present to this wall and also what it's given you, because we often think something is wrong. Nothing is wrong. This is a normal part of the human experience. And as life as an artist, these are the facings, these are the edges, the sticky places we are invited to go. And why? The funny thing is, I talked about fear as the womb, as the portal. The artist's consciousness, which we all are artists, this consciousness we hold in our consciousness all the future worlds that are becoming. We hold all the art that will be made, all the ideas, all the culture, all the videos, all the movies are in our consciousness, which is wild. So we also need to be so caring and loving to ourselves. Like we're doing a lot for the collective, the artist in each of us. But she, they, he is not always supported. In fact, is very unsupported. Okay, everyone, this was so nourishing to my spirit. I'm so happy that it has supported people attending. Thank you so much for saying this, Amira. That's such a wonderful name, also. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Your content literally shifted my life. I'm so grateful. I am so grateful to you. Thank you for being here with me. I'm so grateful. I struggle to allow myself and my art to be seen. You are so not alone. Thank you for sharing that with us. You are not alone. You are not alone. You are not alone. We are all, I think, the throat chakra, the is opening of the collective, and you are part of that opening. And I know that it can feel so uncomfortable, but you have so much courage. You are so courageous. And whether it's an ancestor you have, someone in your lineage who you can tap into their courage and strength, and feel how powerful you are through someone in your family or your line of living, that has helped me with my grandmother. Like I just tap into her power sometimes. I'm like, whoa, like, and I didn't even know her like on a deep level, like where someone, what they're about, what their dreams are, that they didn't get to live, their value system. I don't know her that way, but she comes to me, her strength comes to me. You can face this. You were born to be a conversation, so you get to be in conversation with this fear. And maybe as you share your art, you say, hey everyone, like, I'm terrified, I'm sharing this painting or I'm sharing this music, I'm so scared right now, but I'm doing this for my 7-year-old self who knew from then that they were a dancer, that they were a singer, that they were a storyteller. She knew she had music in her from the get-go, and I'm doing it for her. And you'll see so many people with you. Being able to connect with your energy, oh, feels like a dream. Oh, thank you, Amira. I'm so grateful to hear that. Wow. Wow. Which is so powerful because this was a dream for me. So it's like the collective dream of like, I had this vision to do this. And it was also your vision. You know what I mean? It's our vision, which is so beautiful. Oh, I'm sending so much love to everyone. So much love. Go do something that brings you peace or joy or whatever frequency you're seeking to feel. Hello to you from Uruguay. I'm sending so much love. I am talking about you. We have also a collective self, and I'm so grateful. I'm going to hop off. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope to see you all again. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tara. Thank you so much, Sea Glass. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Amira. I'm so happy. That's a sign. Ooh, that's a sign. I must go because my voice is not fully healed, so I can't. I've overspoken, but this has been so nourishing. I'm sending all the love, and you can all rewatch this live whenever you want. And oh my word, I love you too. I'm sending so much love to you. Oh my word, freedom. Okay, everyone, sending so much love to you. I'll see you on the next soul session. I love you. Bye.